What's up, everyone? Thanks for joining me for Real Talk NFT. As you know, I'm your host, Brian. You know my absolutely wonderful co-host, Joe. We have a really special guest here for you today. It's Jared Phillips. He's one of the co-founders of the GolfN NFT project. GolfN lives on the Solana network. It's an NFT project, and you literally gain rewards by playing the game you love. Jared, really appreciate you jumping on the podcast. How you doing today, my man?
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having me. I'm doing great. It's an exciting time. We're about to enter golf season most places around the U.S. So Masters right around the corner. Project's doing well, and I'm talking to you guys. I'm doing great. Thank you.
So to start off, what's your handicap?
Ooh,
Make it up.
Yeah, no. I look. I track mine religiously because I belong to a country club, and you don't want to be a sandbagger, right? You gotta have a real one. Yeah. So I'm an 8.5 index,
Nice.
and I'm up. I started last year about a 5, and then I had a baby girl, and it went the other way.
Oh,
so
nice.
Didn't play as much. Yeah, you guys get it. Joe gets it at least. I mean, I know you definitely get it, Brian. But yeah, so started last year about a 5, ended up at an 8.5, and I'm hoping to get down closer to scratch soon.
Well, hell, man, you're going to be able to play to earn. I mean, this is you're
Right.
going to work at the golf course. It only makes complete sense. That's why I love this project.
Thank you. Yeah, that's where and we'll get into this, but golfing at its core was four or five guys in the middle of the bear market going, what do we like to do? What can we do? And like, what would we use? And that's where golfing was born. Like, I kid you not. That's just like, let's go build something we would use for things that we love to do. And that's where it all started.
Yeah, and there hasn't been a ton of golf-oriented NFT projects. I'm wearing like the Malbon hat, and they do like the Buckets collection and Lynx DAO. Obviously, he's done some cool stuff in the industry, but you're doing something completely different in my eyes. And just full disclosure for everybody in the audience, I attacked this mint. I bought a pack. I believe this podcast is going to be released a couple of days after, but today's reveal day for our packs. So I'm super pumped up, and I'm super excited to see what I reveal and what cards I get and how I could get them to working for me. But before we get into all the details of this, I know you mentioned a little bit about your background, like how this project came up, but like how did you even get into the world of NFTs and Web3? What brought you into this crazy world?
Yeah. So this is a fun story. 11 years ago, 12 years ago, I young guy. I'm in inside sales, and I'm in Chicago, and I have this team of like 12 people, and I get this transfer in, this guy from Orlando, and I'm like, this guy is like into some weird stuff, like, but he's super smart. Like, tell me, and so he's talking about how he's an entrepreneur and blah 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 blah. And so this was 2012, 13. And he actually ended up leaving. I'm not saying his name on purpose. I will in a moment. And he leaves, but like we had this like connection where like kind of kindred spirits. He was a poker guy. He was into emergent tech. He was an entrepreneur. And he goes and starts this sales team at Grubhub. And he and I stay in contact. In about 2014, he says, you should look into Bitcoin. Okay. This sounds like something you would be into. And I look into it, and I was actually a trader. So I've done a lot of things, but I'm a technically traded TA trader. Okay. So like I was trading S&P 500 future contracts, and I looked at Bitcoin, and my first reaction was like, this is stupid. Your internet money is so dumb. Why would I ever do that? Okay. So literally he comes to me and says, you should get into this. And I say no. And so literally it took me like 5 years of like learning about it, him sending me things. Anyway, that person's name is Joel Birch. Who is an advisor to GolfN and is the CEO of Path Crypto. That's $100 million robo advisor now. Okay. So like he was a kid out of college that worked for me that I just like knew he was a special guy. And then he went on to start Path Crypto, which is huge. It's the only SEC registered crypto advisor in the United States. And so anyway, 2019, I finally shake the cobwebs off my brain, get into crypto, and then I've been an on-chain crypto guy since October 2019, and probably one of the first to really get in deep. And every airdrop there's ever been, I've been a part of it. Right, like every protocol that came out, I tried it. Like Hecko chain in China. I've done it. But again, like it was just that experience. Once I got in, I was all the way in. And it started, 12 years ago with a young man that impressed the heck out of me. And then he told me to try it and kept wearing me down. And I kept like kind of ridiculing him for it, to be honest. And then so much so where I was like, actually, this makes a ton of sense. And now I could not be a bigger crypto honk DJ. I get it. I get the ethos. I love NFTs. NFTs are an interesting, unique thing. NBA Top Shot when it came out. So anyway, that's my crypto story rolled into like then NFTs began, got big. I minted DJ and Ape Academy on the day that it tried to open, right? Like, and it failed time after time after time, and I kept trying. Okay, like everything was there. I've just been there to try it. So I didn't really answer your question, but that's generally how I got into crypto. And then, hey, NFTs, what is it? I love it. Let me try. I'll just mint, and then just figure it out.
No, you nailed it. That's exactly what I wanted to hear. You fit right in. We have very similar stories. We all kind of laughed at Bitcoin the first time we heard about it. We said, get your magic internet money out of here. Then we learned a little bit more about it. Price started going up. Then we're like, oh, decentralization's kind of cool. Like,
nice. Yeah.
And then, not to get into politics, but politics over the few years have made you even want to become more decentralized. And then I found down the rabbit hole of NFTs like a long time ago and just can't get my hands like anything that's minting or protocols. Absolutely love it. If you were in all the airdrops, I guess yesterday was a big day for you with Wormhole.
It was. Ooh, yeah.
It's a fun day.
Honestly, God, and like we didn't need to talk about this, but like I've been building all year, right? I've been building all year from airdrops alone because of things I did 2-3 years ago. It's the most profitable year of my life.
Yeah, totally.
It's insane. Like I was an early adopter on multiple wallets for Jupiter to give you an idea. Okay. And my wife doesn't even get it. She's like, why do airdrops exist? What is happening? Are you doing something illegal? And I'm like, no, honey. No, I swear I'm not. But like, yeah, it's just very, very wild. And like, actually, can I tell you a funny story about NFTs? It's 2 seconds.
Yeah, dude. Okay. We're here for you.
So years ago, I still kind of do it. I had a stream for a long time where I just talk about technical analysis and like just market shifts and changes. I can't do it anymore because the role I'm in now, but I did. And I would just talk to people, anybody who wanted to talk. I'm just a generally curious person. And I had this guest on years ago, like late 2020, early 2021. Who comes on and he's like, I think you should check this out. It's called Bored Ape Academy. And I was like, huh? And I look at it and he tells me, and for an hour, he shilled me before Bored Apes were big. Bored Apes. And I was like, that sounds really dumb. Like, no, I'm not going to do that. Like the art's kind of cool, but like, nah, I'm not. And I literally for an hour was shilled before the price went up, before it went crazy, and just decided not to get in. And I didn't see the vision. And so that's my story of like, you can't write these things off. You have to look into it. Like it was a great idea conceptually. They've made their errors. But like there's video evidence of me out there being shilled before it was popular and me being like, no. And I'm like, if you were to feel dumb about like not getting into things, I got a full hour of me being dumb where I could have bought 10 of them for nothing and been, on an island somewhere. But anyway, you live and you learn, right?
Jared, I have an almost identical story about the Bored Apes that I was all about it. I was like, I'm max minting these. I was like, I see this. I had a buddy we were both like into it. And I was like, I'm going to max mint these.
Sure.
The drop happened where I am at night. So I missed the mint. I fell asleep, missed the mint, woke up and Pranksy bought a ton.
Yeah.
And my claim to fame is I was like, well, F these now. I'm not pumping. I'm not pumping.
Rage.
I'm not pumping Pranksy's bags. And I was like such a bozo. One of the most successful NFT traders of all time. Bought a lot of them. Yeah. And I'm like, I'm not pumping his bags. And my bad, Pranksy. I mean, I probably should have followed up on that because they were so reasonably priced for so long. And then I started to get kind of spiteful about it. And then I warmed up and then I had to drop the ego and just realize that there's a lot of opportunities for everybody in this industry. Correct. And you have to go after things that you're confident in. And you could you don't have to go huge into every project, but if you like something, you should take a slice of that pie and see how it develops.
It's a great takeaway.
I'm here today. And then even on the wife story, I was telling her about my airdrop yesterday about the Wormhole one. I'm like, hey, I got like X amount of some tokens and they're like $1.50 each. And it was like I was telling her the milk was expired. She's like, oh, that's great. Like it's like fake. I was like, no, like it's like we need pave our driveway. I think we might be able to do it. And she's like, oh, okay. And I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I'm going to pump them back into some NFTs and meme coins now. I guess we don't need that driveway.
So desensitized to the airdrop life, you're like, all right, yeah, cool. Neat for you. Bully for you. Like, yeah, it's such a, I mean, I love this space, and I have a bunch of reasons why I love this space. But you get me on a soapbox, I'll go full soliloquy for you. So, but it's such a cool space, and I love to be building in it. And I was on the other side forever. And just like it sounds like you, like I'm surprised you and I haven't connected before now, because I just generally like good people who are interested in trying new things and are just open and fun and curious, just curiosity. And I've got this great network now of people that we've just kind of come together over time, and then we built GolfN, right?
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about GolfN. I know a ton about it. Joe's trying to get into GolfN and golfing. And he loves NFTs and utility NFTs especially. My guy Joe here eats them up.
Yeah, we're not going to get into stories, but yeah, I'm one of those guys that wanted to try anything and everything in the NFT land, and I got every physical you can imagine. You can't do that anymore. But yeah, I just had a baby. Congrats on your baby girl. And basketball is a little bit dangerous now. I need to pick up a sport that's. I'm not sure how much injuries there are in golf, but all my friends play golf here in San Francisco. I'm surrounded by golf courses, and I have the weather to play it, unlike you guys there and in the snow. So yeah, give me a high level of the GolfN app. I think you do a better job explaining it for sure.
Sure. No. Yeah. So GolfN at its core is the merger of two ideas. Okay. If you were to take two ideas in crypto and merge them together, that's how GolfN came to be. So a lot of us were early adopters to STEPN. So you got this like move to earn paradigm, and STEPN was crazy. When that came out, download this app, get some shoes, walk for 30 minutes and make like $75. And you're like, what? It just like kind of blew my mind. Mm-hmm. And so the move to earn concept was great. And they're trendsetters. They did so many things that are being now replicated in like the move to earn space, even play to earn space. But like they obviously didn't know everything. They were first mover, but there were some mistakes that were made. And we're like, all right, how could we improve upon that? Well, let's think about it. And then the other thing that we merged it with is, again, we're on-chain nerds. We're huge fans of Parallel. Okay, so Parallel, the most successful Web3 collectible trading game ever. I mean, it's not even close. Those guys have punted so far above anyone's expectations of what could be done, particularly at the time they were doing it. Mm-hmm. And so if you took STEPN and Parallel and merged those concepts together and then focused it around golf, that's GolfN. Okay, so golf to earn, golf to get rewards and do things. But like, it's not just like the generative piece of STEPN, like the generative art, I feel like was not a miss. Like they had to do it to scale, which is great. But like, I like art that looks good. I like NFTs that are beautiful, that are like things that have time. And so we can't go generative because we feel like we'll lose some of our touch. So we designed, everything from scratch to have these beautiful art pieces and put them into sets. And so we had this pack drop a couple weeks ago where you could mint packs that contain 3 NFTs. This is the Genesis Mint. And so functionally, to boil it down, the TLDR is like buy packs, build the best set you can. Our app will be coming out end of this year. Actually, there'll be closed beta and open beta for holders a lot sooner, but it'll be open to everybody in the world end of this year, start of next year. Build the best set you can, and based on the set that you build, kind of juices your earnings on the course. So
some things I learned from your AMAs I thought was like just such a good way to put it is that I'm personally one of those guys who have paid for like the grit and these other third-party digital scorecards or tracking my shots, all sorts of stuff. I just want to get better at golf, and these apps tell me I'm going to get better at golf if I track my shots. Still seeing if that's true, but I've like experimented with pretty much like all of these golf apps, and they cost money. And there's something I don't like about them. I think you touched on one of your MMAs is how I can't import or export my data. Correct. Like my data that I grinded over for 2 years, I'm like, I can't export it. And I know being like in Web3, in crypto, that's something you guys embraced. Maybe talk about like how your app functions and all the different opportunities, how it's very similar to those apps. But from what I recall, we can export our data if we want to.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
right
yeah.
there,
And
I'm
so,
sold.
absolutely. And so, like, yeah, my TLDR is like you merge these concepts together, build a set, you earn. Well, how do you do that, right? It's inside of an app, a digital caddy app interface. Now, to say we're only a digital caddy app is kind of underselling our vision, and I'll get into that. But for the sake of this conversation and what you just said, you have to think of it this way. Arcos, 18 birdies, the Grint, Golf Shot. There's like 5 other ones that are like pretty prevalent. By the way, I pay for all of them. Like unashamedly pay for all of them. Because like for me, I'm like, maybe the next one gets me on the tour. You know, like you still have that thought where you're like, I'm just one swing thought away. And so I pay for all of them. But you're right. The way that paradigm currently exists is like, it's either a monthly fee, an annual fee, or whatever it is, ranging from $40 to $200 a year to use these apps to gain insights into your own game. They all have something they do better than the others. Like Arcos is very good with their specific on club sensors that makes it more frictionless if the sensors stay on your club to give you shot data. 18 Birdies has the best social functions where you can do betting and all these other things, like very, very well done. But what we did when we were researching this space is we found out that there's almost zero loyalty to these apps. Zero.
Oh, yeah. Zero.
It's like, okay, I like Arcos, but like not so much that I'm like, oh no, I'm buying the Arcos gear. Like no one cares about Arcos. No one cares about Golf Shot or the Grint or whatever it is. You're loyal to your data. I'm sure you guys have seen it right now. I mean, I'm sure that on like if you watch PGA events, you see it's like Arcos, sign up now, get a year free. Why do they do that, guys? I want you to get in and play golf for a year, and then I have your data. And if you want to leave, you can leave, but you can't take your shot data with you. So now you're starting over somewhere else. And so what they do is they bring you in, give you deals, and then it's just like they hold you hostage with your shot data because that's how they make you sticky. That's how they make money. And last year, I said this in one of my AMAs, you may have heard it. Arcos did a raise last August. A $10 million raise. It was a Series C. Led by the PGA Tour with like TaylorMade in it and Callaway and Titleist and like all these people were the ones who got in it. Their post-money valuation for a company that's been around for 12 years and is now in a Series C was $50 million. That's it. I don't know if you guys know valuations or not, but that is very low for a 12-year-old company that is apparently the market leader. What I took from that was these guys have no idea how to build a product people like. They have some really cool features. But it's all about you pay me a monthly fee, I give you insights, and we'll try to make you like it. So what we did is go, let's break that model entirely. I'm going to give you all of the features of 18 Birdies, the Grint, not as much as Arcos, because Arcos has sensors on their club, and I think that's stupid personally because they fall off your club, and it's a huge pain from a business perspective, but we're solving that a different way. I'll get into that in a little bit. So right up to Arcos, I'm going to give you this app for free, $3.99. It literally will not cost you a penny to use GolfN. Now, you will not earn anything if you don't get involved in the ecosystem in some manner or form. But like, if all you want to do is get insights to your game, come on with it, man. If you want to leave our app and go somewhere else, you want to export your data, absolutely. I'm not going to hold you hostage with your stats. I should set the bar higher for my app where you stay because I have the best experience, because we have the best time, gamification, challenges, networking, whatever. Go ask Arcos why they won't let you export your data. When we're able to be exported anywhere, go ask them. Why not? Well, because your business model will fall apart. So we're doing something entirely different, gamifying engagement, and just making it open source. Because yeah, Web3 ethos, man. Like, is it Web3 100%? No, that technology doesn't exist yet. But the centralized server, the centralized data, you own your data, not me.
Yeah, love it. Love it. Tell us a little bit about the challenges, how these cards work. I forget off the top of my head how many NFTs are in each pack, and how you can utilize on the course play, and how people can earn using those.
Yeah. So here's the thing that I always got from people whenever I bring up this concept. They go, maybe they're like, Joe, right? And you're like, I'm just learning. I'm not good at golf. Is this worth it for me? It has nothing to do with how good you are. The gamification has nothing to do with how good you are at golf. Each card has different traits on it. the traits give you bonuses for things you do on the course. I say things you do on the course. You play with friends, you get a bonus for that. You track your shot, score or hole by hole, you get a bonus for that if you want. If you track shot by shot like I do, and it sounds like Brian does, where I'm like, missed the fairway left, lost ball. Like if you do that, you get engaged for that, but you don't have to. You build your deck to make yourself have the best experience. There's two things on there that, Brian, you'll like. I kind of did them for me because I, have a job and I have kids. There's two attributes that are called Swift Swing and Off-Peak Prodigy. And it's rewarding people for playing faster than the course average and during off-peak hours. Because like I usually can't play on the weekends. My kids have stuff going on. But I am in crypto, so I can sneak out at like 9 a.m. on a Thursday or like a Tuesday and go play real quick. So like if you just want to go play, whatever, then equip cards that do that. So it has nothing to do. If you shoot 10 under par or 190, it doesn't matter. It literally is how do you engage? How do you like to play your game? And you can equip like the same trait for all three cards too, because there's 3 slots. You can equip a driver, an iron, or a putter, and that's what's being revealed today. You'll find out exactly what you got in your pack. And so that's going to be a fun little ripping experience. Because I've been a card collector since I was a kid. Like I was collecting, like trying to pull Michael Jordans, right? Like those kind of things. So it's a cool experience. You try to build the best set that you can, and then just build a deck that rewards you for being engaged. But I have plenty of friends who are like, I don't like to have my phone open when I'm on the course. Like I get it. I used to be that guy too. Then equip 3 cards that play with friends. Start your round, throw it in your bag. Don't touch it again. You don't get penalized for that. It's just how do you want to engage? And then like there's small things that like make sense from like an overall business perspective, not even just business, just like let's build a database. When you finish your round, Joe, I shot a 96. It says, great job. And a card pops up. It says, how were the course conditions today? How do you feel about the value? What were the facilities like? Leave a review. There's never been a reason to leave a review ever on really any site. Okay. Like you leave a review. People who leave reviews are people who are pissed, like generally speaking. And then you got to go get a bunch of your friends to be like, hey, this one guy got like the wrong order. Can you go talk about how good we are? And then you just manipulate the game, right? And then you incentivize people to leave reviews. Now it's just like, hey, I'm going to pay you. I'm going to give you rewards for just being honest about your experience. So it's just small things like that. Let's build a nice organic database where people can participate and say like, look, I played Cantini in Chicago. Facilities are great. The conditions are amazing. It cost $290. Like that's insane. So no, the value was not there. I feel like I really have to shell out to do it, but I enjoyed my time. Then as a person who's looking like, Cantini, all right, it's a very good experience. At least I know I'm paying. I know what I'm getting coming in. So just a bunch of like different ways to engage. And then you can just earn points, rewards that you can redeem towards things you'd spend money on anyway, right?
That's very interesting. I never heard of incentivizing feedback. And that's probably a very good use case because every site, I would say, like even Amazon, right? So manipulated, like you said, you don't leave a review unless it's a negative review. I didn't put that 2 and 2 together until you said it. But yeah, that sounds great. So is it a native point within? Is it a Web3 token? Is it is it not Web3 focused? The earning mechanism there?
Yeah. So right now, it's like an in-game point system. Right? Where it goes in the future, I can't really say. But there's an in-game economy, and like Parallel, right? Parallel had points out, and there wasn't a token for 2.5 years. But you could do things with the token, or with the points at the time. I'm not saying that we are or are not going that way, and there's a lot of reasons why I can't talk about that. Because I don't know, and we're in the United States. Because like, think about it. I'm very doxxed. We're in the USA. We're trying to do this the right way. I talk to attorneys more than I talk to my wife sometimes about like, look, I'm just trying to build something cool. I don't know what I can and cannot do. I'm trying to build a utility inside of a system. So what I can say is immediately you'll earn these points. You can hold on to them. You can not. The ways that you'll be able to use them are like, hey, I want to get that new driver. I want to get this box of balls. I want to get this polo, or I want to go redeem for a round somewhere. You can do that because those are just utility pieces. There's no expectation of profit there. And so that's how we're building. Like, think of it like airline miles, like 2.0, or really more like 5.0.
Love airline miles.
And then where it goes in the future, we'll see.
I love the idea. You could probably, as the app continues to grow, you could probably get some major golf brands that are knocking on your door. Like, hey, we want a little exposure. We'll give you some golf shirts. We'll give you some golf hats, or we'll do a collaboration, and you can turn them in for your points. And that's I'm no lawyer, but I feel like that's a little safer way.
No, that's all. That's very, because like, here's the thing. The NFTs are utility pieces. They enable earning inside of an ecosystem and other functionality inside the ecosystem. That's why it's like, look, come at me, SEC. Like, they're literally utility inside of an app. It's what enables this entire function. And so if you're doing that to enable an earnings function, and then you get rewarded for that, and you can redeem for things that aren't necessarily cash directly, but have value. Because like, look, if you're, Brian knows this, if you're a golfer, like, you spend money on golf, like, at a rate that does not make sense, right? Like
I literally did 2.0.
Dude, look at this. I literally was like on eBay, and I'm like, you know what? I need a 5-wood, and I just ripped a 5-wood head, and I'm like, I'll figure it out later. Okay. Like, things like that just happen in golf. So like, I'm used to having this one-way street where like, I pay Arcos, I pay manufacturers, I pay courses, I go on trips, and I pay. And they get my data, and they market to me very effectively, apparently, based on the club I just held up. But like, it's all one way. So what are we doing? Let's make it work the other way, man. Where for what you do, you earn points. They're redeemable for things you spend money on anyway. Can we please reverse the flow back to the players for a change?
Yeah, that's one thing I love about Web3. It's part ownership, like I said. Web 1 is what? Read only. Web 2 is read and create. And now it's read, create, and own. And finally, we get a piece, not really ownership, right? But incentivization. And that's something that I really, really love.
It's a choose your own adventure. And like, I alluded to this earlier, but again, like, the digital caddy app is the lowest hanging fruit for what we're trying to do, guys. Because if you golf a lot, Arcos, 18 birdies, Grant, they make a lot of sense. We can go disrupt the hell out of that business model. I cannot wait until these guys learn about us. It's going to be very soon, just based on the people who are following us. But it's like, oh my God, they're going to destroy our business model. Yes, we are. Okay, get better. But that's not where it ends. Right. It ends because like, we're a golf engagement protocol. Yeah, it is going on the course, but like, not everybody does that. So how about you get rewarded for checking in at Topgolf, for going to a range with your kids and like snapping a photo. I'm teaching my kid to do this. I'm going to a PGA event. I'm going to a live event. I don't care. You love golf. Check in. Let's find a way for you to do it. It's a golf engagement protocol. It's not an on-course digital caddy app. We want to be the place for people who truly love golf and want to engage with it, can be rewarded for doing the stuff they do anyway. So it's not only like teeing up at the country club with Judge Smales, right? It's a lot of different ways you can engage with golf.
You're doing God's work out there with that Swift card. The golf gods out there, they want to increase pace of play. No matter what, that golf cart, everybody better start utilizing that a little bit more. 4.5, 5 hour rounds need to go.
I'm saying.
People need to have their golf club in their hand and their yardage before the guy behind them hits. Just be ready to play. And I like how you're incentivizing that. And you probably are going to break that 5 index just because the golf gods are going to give you a few lucky bounces just because you're doing this.
I tell you. And I've already had a couple conversations with some pretty big golf management companies that have like 1,000 courses.
Like who?
More. I can't
like who?
But they're names you would know if I said them. And I just like posited the question where it was like, if we could build a system for you to incentivize people who play faster than course average and off-peak hours to come to your course and play, would you give them preferred pricing and opportunities? What do you think their answer was?
100%. I mean,
absolutely.
If they said no, I would be like, well, they've never ran a business in their entire life.
So you're telling me I can help you fill slots that are traditionally hard for you to fill because they're at off-peak times, and maybe even do it with people who play faster than your course average? Where is that a bad thing for you? Okay.
Yeah.
So like, these very like common sense ways to pull rewards back in, to be like, look, you can go play at redacted course, which is very famous, for 50-60% off because you fit these criteria. Would that interest you? Heck yeah, that would interest you. You take days off work to do that, right? Like that's how this ends up making a lot of sense beyond just like the initial concept.
So tell me a little bit about how the onboarding is, because a lot of NFT projects involve buying on decentralized exchanges or staking through a portal, or the dashboard's not working, and still a lot of clunkiness out there. How's GolfN fixing that, and how are you addressing it?
Yeah, there is. Even for those who own NFTs, you will never find a seed phrase or wallet inside of my app. Period.
Nice.
This will look and feel just like Arcos, just like 18 birdies, just like the Grant. We abstracted that entire thing away. In fact, it was one of the first things I said with my co-founders. I was like, I'm unwilling to do this if your first experience inside of our app is like, okay, write down these 12 words, like zero chance I would ever try to go to. It's stupid. And like the reason for it, if you want to do it and just be pure to Web3 ethos, fine. But that's not what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to change an entire segment, entire industry, and have them go, I love this app. I love the experience. Where the hell are these rewards coming from? Like, how does this work? Oh, Web3. You want to learn about it? I'll help you get in. But to answer your question, it's going to be OAuth, Google auth. However you want to decide to get in. It's a centralized database, but you have access to it however you like. And if you want NFTs, like obviously I do, Brian does, hopefully Joe will, right? Like you sign in on the app, you can connect to the website and you can OAuth cross sign to go, what do I own in my wallet? Okay, cool. That's now reflected in your locker inside of your app. So you're not sending potentially expensive NFTs to a phone wallet to be able to equip it inside of the app. It's literally going to be sign in two places, create a bridge so we can reflect your holdings inside of the app itself. But people who've never owned NFTs ever will just be able to sign up and go, look, okay, cool. I don't own NFTs, but I can go play and gamify this. Yeah. There's small pieces of this that if you think about like building a business and doing it in a way that makes sense, you don't have to own NFTs to earn. And you go, Jared, that's ridiculous. Why would you do that? You're giving away money. Well, yes, but no. We're running the consumable playbook, okay, where you can come in and you can use the app and get all the functionality of Arcos and 18 Birdies and all those things for free. Fine. I don't care. You're not going to earn anything. However, if you want to try to earn and get into this reward system, $6 on your phone. You pay $6. You get a sleeve of golf balls. That empowers 3 rounds of golf. After you're done playing those 3 rounds, if you do the engagement pieces, you'll come out with like $15 in credits towards golf stuff. So you're telling me I went from paying $80 a year to not paying at all to choosing to pay $6 to get 15? Why would I not pay $6 for 15 every time I go play? At the end of the year, that could be a new driver or whatever it is. And that's just up to you when to use it. Maybe you play $6, you play 3 times the entire year. You still got the entire functionality that you would have had to pay $150 to Arcos or more for just to get. Use it however you want to. But here's the thing. If you go from paying somebody else to not paying to choosing to pay 6 and getting 15, then when we do things like season pass challenges where, hey, it's the summer, we'll do a season pass, pay $40, opt in if you want. You don't have to, but you can opt into it. That have these challenges. Check in at a Topgolf, play 5 different courses, leave reviews for those courses. Now you paid 40 and you got 80. So you're telling me so far I'm in for 46 and I'm out for 95 for golf stuff that I spend money on anyway. Where does that not make sense? It makes, who would say no to that?
Yeah, no, you're hitting the nail on the head. I mean, every golfer knows after they're done playing a course, any course, we're walking into the pro shop, we're buying hats, we're buying polos. I mean, it's kind of like the NFT crypto world where it's just like, we're going to play golf and it's an endless supply of money.
That's right. It's kind of dead money. I'm accepting this is going to zero. I'm going to get nothing from it, but I take enjoyment from it. So like if you go one step further than what I just said, season pass, consumables, fine. You can probably do that and get some pretty nice swag on an annual basis if you never want to get involved in NFTs. However, if you do, there's a rental economy. This is where this gets really fun for NFT collectors. If you collect NFTs, there's a chance that your clubs will be rented at any given time by people that are out that don't know anything about NFTs. We have this membership system where you can pay X amount of money per month to get access to rent NFTs. There's different levels to it. I can't get into it so much right now, but like just to use a square example, let's say $20 a month, you want to pay to get a green membership. I'm just making this stuff up so my people don't get mad at me. But like that allows you to rent NFTs where the way the math works out, if it costs $20 for a month, when you play one time, you'll make like 15. So if you play one time a month, it's not worth it. But if you play 2 times, it starts to make a lot of sense. You play 5 times a month, you're like, this is the greatest thing I've ever done in my life. Why would I not do this? So, and then what happens is you get to rent NFTs from holders. You go play on their behalf, earnings are split. So half go to NFT owners, half stay with the people who rented them. And then you just get to continue playing and kind of choose your own adventure in that regard. The nice thing too is like how you incentivize set collection, which there's an article coming out today that Brian, you should read, and Joe, you should too, but it's going to talk about the whole set collection mechanism. Anybody who owns a card can have their clubs rented by other people, again, by their choice. No one has to do this. But if you complete sets, the odds of your cards being rented improves. The longer you have a set collected, the odds of your NFTs being rented goes up even higher. So completing those sets, doing it quickly, and we just know in your wallet when you completed a set because we know what the sets are. So there's all of a sudden this goes up. You have this entire economy that's just built around people finding ways to work symbiotically together.
Jared, you just pushed me over the hump. Asian people you're speaking to the Asian community. We're very pragmatic and stingy, aka stingy, and costs. Although this doesn't hold me back, there's a big reason why I'm not in golf yet. But if I get paid to play golf, I'm buying some right now. Where I get this pack at?
GolfN.com, baby. They're on Tensor at this moment. But yeah, if you go to GolfN, GolfN.com, you can learn about it. There's a link to the secondary marketplace today. And by the way, Brian, you'll see it when you open yours. The pack opening experience, assuming Solana's cooperating, and so like I'll use that as a caveat because you guys know what's going on with Solana right now. It's out of control. But the pack opening experience is awesome. Like multimedia lead in, cool animations, like really, really fun, pleasant experience. Because like, look, we're trying to make this fun and cool for people. It's not just like, oh, here it is. What did I get? There's a minute-long intro lead-in that's been generated. The pack opening experience animation is awesome. You get the whole like cards, they're back to you on the screen. You click it, reveal slowly, tells you what you got. All these fun collectible type things that we're trying to do. So that's later today. And so the whole like caveat with Solana is like Solana has this really interesting upgrade coming 1.18, which no one will care about here. But functionally right now, there is no like fee bribe for transactions right now. Literally, if you pay to increase your transaction broadcast on Solana, you get no preference over somebody who's spam broadcasting it for free. It's just randomly selected, which is very silly.
Right.
And so what happens with this whole meme thing going on, people, when they go to submit one transaction, submit 100 and just one gets through and they jam the entire system. So the next upgrade is about to do that. My point of saying that is really just for you, Brian, because this won't come out in time. If you go to open your back, when you hit open, just let it sit there. It will broadcast and work. But if you refresh it, you're going to skip past the experience.
Okay, so that's another. Do I open this pack? I'm like one of those weird guys that keeps like I still have Top Shot packs unopened, and I was thinking maybe I'll just go and start building sets or buying cards off the secondary and keep the couple unopened packs. I mean, it's nobody knows. You don't even know. I'm just trying to figure out the game theory a little bit behind it.
The game theory is nuts. Okay, like and just all right. So do you know Arno Kiss, the artist we got to do our one-on-one?
Yeah, I'm familiar from doing some research and following the project for a while.
Yeah. So Arno's a big deal, and he did our one-of-one. Okay, the one-of-one's gorgeous. It's like my favorite card. And like by the way, I designed all the common and uncommon cards, and then other members on the team did the rare, epic, and legendary. Like the commons and uncommons were me. Okay, so if you hate them, go talk to somebody else. If you love them, let me know. Okay, I think they're pretty cool. So the one-of-one has unbelievable perks. You want to know what one of the perks is? We've already talked about it, but like,
yeah.
So Joe, do you want to know what one of the perks of the one-on-one is?
Please do.
One time a year, for as long as you own it, you play golf anywhere in the world, 100% on us.
All right, so where do I get this card at? Which pack is it in?
Exactly. Yeah. So literally, the rest of you, I'm gonna escrow money and endow it for like the next 50 years. That like you will have this money. That's there cool. To go play Pebble Beach once a year on me if you want, or as long as you hold the card. And that's like probably not even the top 3 best perks about the one-on-one.
It has to probably be a public course, huh? I can't be like, I want to go to Augusta. I'm at the tee shop at Augusta.
Let me get this 20 grand. Yeah.
I'm like, I'm showing him my phone. I'm like, you don't understand. It's a one-of-one.
Yeah, let me
out.
I should play here. Yeah, Pineview and Augusta aren't going to let you on. It has to be public. That's the draw. But like Shadow Creek in Vegas costs $800. You know what I mean? Like, there's it can be worth your while. And so yeah, like that. The game theory is this, in my opinion. And by the way, I own a lot of packs, and they were not given to me for being the CEO. Okay, I bought the packs just like everybody else. I think I'm going to leave like a third of mine unopened, like permanently.
You are.
Yeah. Like just because it's like, I believe in what we're building, and like the Genesis packs are going to age very, very, very well. If we do, you know what I mean? And it's like, okay, that's pretty nice. But the longer, from like a direct perspective, the longer packs are open, you'll see how many have been open. And the one-of-one hasn't been pulled yet. What are the implications behind that?
There's only one of
It's
these.
like the Top Shot. It's like the Top Shot days. Whenever like we used to like chase jersey numbers, and we're like, oh my gosh, the number 23 hasn't been pulled, and I'm like, I still have an unopened pack, and
that's right.
That's right. That's still happening. I buy NBA Top Shot packs every week, and that still happens every week. Once there is a jersey number pulled, the value of the pack drops, but the gamification behind it, still to this day, it's a plus EV play actually for selling packs.
Plus EV play. Yeah. That's right. That's right. Yeah. So all that stuff really fascinates me, and it's just like fun things that just give you like, look, if you are struggling day to day, week to week, GolfN is not for you, man. First off, let me help you make it. Like, let's hang out and get to a place where you can. This is not something that you're just like ripping. It's like you said, it's like found money. It's limitless. Like whatever. If you're in that place where you can do that, please come join. It's going to be a fun experience. But like, if you're spending your hard-earned dollars on this stuff, I want to make it a great experience. I want it to be fun, not just on the course, the collecting piece of it, so on and so forth. And this is a small part. Some game theory, pack openings. I can't believe how few projects utilize like the pack function. I honestly can't.
I agree. You know? I agree. It's fun. Ripping packs in real life and digital is a freaking blast. And Joe knows it because we'll buy Top Shot packs
every week.
And I'll be like, oh, I got a few. And he's like, I'm selling the packs. I'm like, I'm ripping them open. I'm trying to go for the Wemby. You know, I was like, he's like, killer. Yeah. And I got it. And I was like,
did you?
We got 4 Wembys between us, I think. It was amazing. It was a great week.
Oh my God. That's awesome.
In a chat. And, it's very difficult for me to keep. I'm gonna rip my GolfN packs.
I'll be the one buying and selling to Brian.
Yeah, that's how this relationship. He's like, hey, I bought my wife a new Tesla. I love it. I'm like, oh my gosh, I just bought $60,000 worth of Top Shot packs. That's right. Funny.
You did what? Yeah. You know, it's just the small things that keep coming back. And there's so many other places that we're going to go to that are going to be like, you know, I can't really release a whole lot of it, but like real world items that will be mintable on chain. And you have to decide whether or not you want the item or you want it to, because it's a limited run with limited variants, or you can actually use it to increase your earnings inside of the app. So now you have 3 different ways you can think about this stuff where it's like, oh,
the degens out there, they're myself included, our blood's boiling. I don't know. I love the project, man. I think it's great. One thing I think why it's going to catch fire is it's kind of like the NFT Web3 crypto world. Like when you meet somebody that's into crypto and Web3 and they're not annoyed about you talking about it, but you have like this connection. Like we're both into this crazy world. We make our stupid jokes. The golf community is like the same way. Like you're playing with these guys 4 or 5 hours, and we're not even like talking about our personal life. So it's like I don't even know what Tony's wife's name is. Like no idea. But I've been playing with you for 5 years. I know when he bought a new driver. I know you got a new Scotty Cameron. So while I'm using this app on the golf course, I'm going to be your biggest proponent. I need a promo code. That's what I need. But as I'm
going to be a part of it, it's going to be a part of it. Literally, there will be incentives for you, like referring people in app. That's going to help you. So you got it.
McNutt 2024, everyone. But
I'll be your first one.
But as I'm playing, and I talk a lot, and a lot of people who I play with at golf also know I'm like huge into crypto and Bitcoin. So we talk about that a lot because they're like always like, hey, the price is going up. I'm like, greatest freaking buy of our lifetime. You should probably do something about it.
Right.
But as I'm putting scores in and everybody wants to talk about it, I'm going to be chirping about my GolfN app and literally be like, I don't know if you guys knew this, like as we're buying a beer, I was like, I made $14 playing golf today.
Right.
Like, and you know what's going to happen? They're all going to sign up.
Yeah.
Will they use it as often as me? Not really sure. Probably. But they'll all sign up. So that golf community is such a rabid community. It reminds me of NFT communities, but even bigger.
It is. Yeah. It is. And by the way, can I tell you something that like based on what you just said, that it's been like my passion project since like last June. And I was like, we're doing this. And my team was like, calm down. And here we are. It's about to happen. No one knows this yet.
I love it. Alpha.
Yeah. It's it's about the referral program. So it's alpha, meaning that you're the first to hear it. I have these GolfN bag tags that were made that are literally the GolfN G. You can hang on your bag.
Yeah.
And if you decide you want one of these, which by the way, if you're a Genesis minter, you'll get it for not free, but pretty darn cheap. Yeah. It'll have like its own limited designation where it's like you were in fact a Genesis minter. Only way you could get it is if you were involved in the first pack some way. And on the back, your personalized QR code.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, so they can scan it just like those guys have the Venmo. Those assholes have the Venmo codes on their bag to pay them. It's gonna be the GolfN referral.
Yeah,
code.
just a nice titanium GolfN G that looks cool. What is that? Yeah, well, it's this. You're flipping up. It's my QR code. Oh, Genesis Mint. What does that mean? In the moment, they might not know anything. Later on, when they're looking, they're gonna be like, "Oh my god, Brian was in the Genesis. This guy's been in since day one." So there's gonna be some cool like cloud alpha, like whatever. And honestly, it just looks really cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
Can they poach you over to NBA Top Shot world? Because that's like, you have all their mechanisms plus the earning mechanism, which is amazing.
Thank you. It's the nice thing of like having guys that have generally made it in their lives build something out of like love and passion versus money. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care about that. It's like, I want to build a cool thing that disrupts this entire segment of the sport and hobby that I love, right? Like, golf for me, and I've posted this in the Discord yet, so it's in there. But like, when I think about golf, you know what I think of? I think about when I was 12 years old on Father's Day, which is the only time I could play because we didn't have a lot of money. And on Father's Day, I could go with my dad and my grandfather and my brother, and we could walk down the course and we could talk, and there were no distractions. I got access to my dad and my brother and my grandfather at the same time. And I vividly remember ages 12, 13, 14, because those are where, in a lot of ways, I was formed as a person, like just that experience and being outside and hear my grandfather talk about World War II and my dad being a police officer and like all these other things. When my brother was going through, who was quite a bit older than me. And it was like this bonding experience of like being outside, touching grass. And like, I was just in love. I wanted it and I couldn't afford it either. So like, where was my first job? Working at a golf course, scrubbing carts so I could play for free, right? Like, that's where this came from. And it's like, I love it. I want to share that love. Do you have that kind of love? Probably not, but maybe you will. Joe, maybe your kids will one day, and they'll love that time with you. And I hope I can find a way to make it a little bit more accessible, a little bit more fun. And so more people can have that experience that I had, that now here I am closer to 40 than I'd like to admit. And I still think about those days as a 12-year-old, my old man grandfather.
I think you will. NBA Top Shop, because it was the first experience for me in the Web3 world, it reconnected me with high school friends I haven't talked to with in 30 years.
Isn't that crazy?
And I've met them up for the last 3 years straight through because of NBA Top Shop events. I just went to one 2 weeks ago. And I think that's going to happen with golfing. Like, not for your app. I mean, that I think once I join golfing, because I'm already going to do so, all my friends who wanted me to play golf forever, we're going to reconnect because of golfing. And that's something that's exciting for me.
It's so hard now to just like touch grass and be away. And obviously, like, Jared, you're building an app you'd have to have open on the course. Yeah, but like, choose your own adventure, man. Like, it's really about being outside, being present, right? And then like collecting, gamifying earnings. We haven't even talked about the gambling inside the app and the other things that are more, but like, those will be there too. Let's just make something cool and fun, right? But anyway, I love your guys' like the Top Shot thing and that like shared experience and connecting over that. I did that with a guy from college, just like on like Panini card breaks, right? Like just trying to rip like RPAs from like football and like whatever. And I was like, dude, did you see this? I saw the other day, like there's Jackie Robinson pulled out of the Transcendent pack. Oh my God. And we're texting back and forth, like all these crazy things. And it's like, there's so many ways to do it now. And like in an increasingly distant, disconnected world, let's find more ways to come together.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah. You're absolutely crushing it, Jared. Yeah, I love everything about this project. You make me even more bullish on it. And we're actually big fans. We've had Parallel on the podcast in the past.
Great.
And we've made a call out to our private community about Parallel, about the avatars, about the cards. I think the token when we made the call out was like $7 or $8. And I checked the price recently, and it's like almost 30. And I'm
it's
like,
a lot.
Yeah,
I think it's low. I still think it's low.
I do too. I have a buddy who's really sharp, and he's like, "Hey, there's staking coming out in a couple of weeks, and like this price is like this feels like somewhere where we need to keep moving towards." So I've noticed that because I know you have. I think it's Fitch is on.
Yeah. I didn't even mention that earlier. Yeah, Fitch, the head of partnerships with Parallels on our team.
Yeah,
so like a lot of those questions of like, how should we do this? It's nice to talk to somebody that was a part of one of the biggest games ever to be like, you don't want to do it this way. Here's why. That sort of insight, unbelievably helpful. And I think you'll see that as you learn more about the ecosystem.
Yeah, you guys are crushing it. So super. I can't wait to see. I can't wait to see what's in my pack. Can't wait to see how I'm going to buy all these cards. You're going to see my wallet address probably all over the place because GolfN season's coming. And I'm actually playing this Saturday and Sunday, double dipping. Don't get to do that too often.
It's just like
So
twisting a knife from me. Oh.
Yeah. The last question I want to go before I let you kind of call out is, I know it says on the website there's like 30,000 courses you support. How do we find out which courses are supported? Because that was a question I had about my home course.
No, it's a good question. So actually we support, it's more than 30,000. It's just looked nicer. I don't know how that happened. It's 36,000, over 36,000 courses. There's only 38,000 golf courses in the world. Okay. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's like 38,000 golf courses. I would have banged
over
me
half
over.
Yeah, that's right. Over half of them are the United States.
Wow.
And then everybody else is combined. All right. So like, why do we need to be from the United States? That's a pretty good reason. But yeah, if you're in a generally developed country that has a golf course that didn't open 10 minutes ago, I feel pretty confident your course is going to be in our API.
Awesome, man. Well, this interview has been great. I want to give everyone a chance for you to get a shout out so they can find you on Twitter, so they can bug you with all their golfing questions and how they can get more packs. I know you gave a call out earlier about the website, but to wrap it up, would love to give you one more shout out.
Sure. No, I appreciate that. Yeah. So a couple things. One, GolfN app, GolfN app on Twitter or X, whatever you call it these days. And then in there, if you look at affiliates, because we paid for the corporate one, if you click on affiliates, you'll see me and the team members in there. So you can find me directly. I don't need to show my own stuff. And then the website is golfn.com. There's actually a Kickoff Labs waitlist, which we just sent out an email about today, where literally for signing up, referring people are some of the most amazing golf prizes you could ever win just for getting involved. So like full sets of irons, club fittings, rare swag stuff, putters. So literally just for signing up and referring people, you get more points. And so that just released today. So if you go to golfn.com, you can see like a little sign up thing. It gives you a bunch of tasks to do, refer friends. And if you like free and cool golf stuff, it's a good place to go.
I love it, my man. You guys are gonna crush it. I'll be front lines with y'all, seeing how it builds out, and hopefully we get out there and maybe play some golf here together one day.
Yeah,
that'd be
absolutely.
fabulous.
That'd be great. And like you can see us, you'll see us doing big kickoff outings around crypto conferences soon. So I'm sure we'll definitely meet up, and you guys have open invites to join.
Awesome. Appreciate it, my man. Thank you for jumping on.
Thank you for having me on.